Hey, what's up, paintballers? I have seen a lot of videos out there where people are trying to implement fitness to improve their paintball game, but they clearly don't quite understand exactly the physics of what's actually benefiting your fitness versus taking away from your paintball skill. And the example I want to go over today is one I've seen a couple times, even at the pro level, being used, and that is using a strength band around the waist to, in theory, make you stronger at running bunker to bunker, or supposedly I've heard someone say it's to help you keep your joints stacked. But I want to show you why that's actually not a good use of this band. But I do want to give you some good uses of bands like this that can improve your fitness and therefore improve your paintball game. So a reason that's never a good idea to practice paintball with someone pulling on you no matter what direction it is, whether it's straight behind me, straight beside me, whatever the case may be. In paintball, we are never shooting with someone or anything pushing on us in any direction. So it makes no sense to practice accuracy under the force of something pulling or pushing at you sideways, front, behind you. It just doesn't make sense. So we need to be practicing our paintball skill under the same circumstances that we're going to be on the field. So I always stress, practice like you play, and you never play with someone pulling on you. So if you're going to be practicing paintball and you're going to be practicing your skill, your aim, your movement bunker to bunker, it makes zero sense to practice that under conditions that you don't experience in gameplay. Now, for the people who think pulling on someone is going to make sure they're putting their joints in alignment, which is something I've heard someone say, again, it makes no sense to be constantly pulling on someone, especially from the same direction, the entire time they're doing a drill, going bunker to bunker, shooting different sides and whatnot. If you're going to make sure someone's joints are stacked, you should be looking at them, let them stack them according to the force of gravity, not the force of something external pulling them or pushing them sideways. And if you do by chance notice that they're so out of alignment that their body is under stress, then what you should do is push on them with your hand, give some tactile feedback, say, hey, your hip should be a little bit more this way, your elbow should be tucked under a little bit, bring your shoulders back, do a quick correction at the joint that you think is out of alignment, but don't constantly be pulling on them, especially in the same spot, from the same direction. I have a hard time understanding how anyone's joint could be out of alignment while they're practicing paintball, to the point that we would ever use something like a band around the waist to make sure someone's joints are stacked. But regardless, let's talk about some good things you can use this band for that will improve your paintball game. Basically, the only thing that I really think these bands are good for is resisting your run. So around your waist, someone behind you, using a partner, and practicing sprints with that resistance. That's not necessarily going to make you a ton faster, but what it will do is help you practice some quick reflexes for being slightly off balance, which can happen during paintball if you're running on uneven ground. If you slip a little bit, your body's going to have to make quick split-second adjustments to make sure you don't lose your balance, you stay on track. And so having someone behind you pulling on you with one of these bands is going to stimulate that. It's going to throw you off balance, it's going to be unpredictable, and your body's going to have to make quick split-second adjustments to make sure you still run forward, you stay on balance. So that's a good use of these bands. Again, I totally get the idea that people are trying to improve their fitness by taking things from the gym and using them on the paintball field, but as you can ask Patty Gleason or myself, we want to practice like we play, and we want to separate fitness from sport-specific skills when it makes no sense to practice under conditions that are unlike anything you will encounter on the game field. So I'll be back with more tips and tricks. If you have questions about things that you have tried that you like, but you want to know if they actually are helping or hurting your paintball game, let me know in the comments below. I'll be back with more tips and tricks on things that do work and don't work, taking things from fitness and applying them to the sport of paintball. Thanks as always for watching, for subscribing, engaging with this video, and as always, play better paintball.